counting down the minutes to tonight's main event. Will a legendary run come to an end, or will Father Time be handed the defeat instead? That is the big question for you. Listen, there is so much to talk about with this fight coming up. We have seen athletes across all sports put up a banner season or two before they then fall off the map completely. Greatness can often be defined by longevity, but it isn't just how long you dominate in the sport, it's also how exciting you are whilst you're doing it.
Greatness can happen in a single flash, dominating for a brief moment. But to be a legend, an all-timer, you must endure. The refusal to accept what the body whispers to the mind. My first 5 majors and 44 PGA wins cemented my name and Hall of Fame career. But at 50 years old, I was engulfed on the biggest stage.
Mickelson does the impossible,
becoming the oldest major champion in the history of my game.
And wins a major at 50 years old.
Like select others, I proved greatness and the passage of time can run together on a parallel line. Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl at age 43.
GOAT is the GOAT!
Across 20 seasons, Gretzky netted nearly 900 goals. There's Jordan's 6 rings, while a 43-year-old Tiger claimed his 15th major win. And after 19 seasons, a baseball icon took his final at-bat.
Williams swings, and there's a long drive.
And hit a home run. Just like Manny Pacquiao, Ted Williams was 42 years old. Tonight, it's a thumbs up for Pacman as he takes his swing. His belt spanning 4 decades with a record 8 division world titles. A man of first, oldest, and onlys. And oh, even sweeter coming from that lefty side.
Well, here you go. Here's what a young Manny Pacquiao looked at age 18 when he was 10-0 as a pro, side by side with Manny Pacquiao as he looks right now, 42 years young, and with the potential tonight to add yet another record to his already long list. Manny Pacquiao is just an incredible fighter. Let's talk about him for a second, because you know what he has achieved in 26 years in this sport is just incredible. He is the sport's first ever 8 division champion. He's gone from 106 pounds through to 147 pounds, winning titles. There are weight classes in boxing for a reason. That is nuts, is it not?
It is nuts. I should go back further because he's 42, but I'll go with the currents. LeBron James, Tom Brady, The Rock. Even if you go out of sports, Will Smith, Kevin Hart, the common denominator of all those people and Manny Pacquiao, hard work. That's why he's still here.
You know, you watch a piece like that, right, and you kind of think about just how special he is. And on paper, he should be past his prime. But this is not a fighter that's hanging on, who's staying past his prime and just kind of can't give it up. This is a guy who's definitive for the division.
I mean, anytime we see him, we just saw him backstage. Everybody's wondering 42. Everyone's comparing from his performance against me in 19 till now. And what I saw backstage, I saw those same fast feet, the fast movement. We are going to see an explosive Manny Pacquiao. I don't think this man knows how to age.
It happens to us all at some point. Listen, we aren't the only ones who are looking back on a legendary career of Manny Pacquiao. Heidi Androl has got even more nostalgia for you tonight.
That's right, Kate. He's even bringing back the wardrobe. You have to go back to 2006 to see Manny Pacquiao. It was the Morales trilogy, the 3rd fight. There he is with the WBC super featherweight belt around his waist, one of many that he's got in his collection. You know, and that actually sparked kind of and launched him into superstardom. He went on to win consecutive fights against guys like Ricky Hatton, De La Hoya, Marquez, Barrera, Timothy Bradley, Shane Mosley. I mean, I could keep going. It was an incredible run. He plans to bring that same heat and be that noisy storm in the ring that he was all those years ago. Now, let's send it across the ring over to Jordan Plant.
Thanks, Heidi. Referee Russell Mora will be in charge tonight of the Pacquiao versus Ugas fight. And here's some interesting info. He's the same ref who deducted a point from Ugas for holding in the 5th round during his fight with Omar Figueroa Jr. And when I mentioned this to his trainer, Ismael Salas, he was surprised and thanked me for the update because he said that they definitely want to clarify this in the pre-fight rules meeting because they want to be on the same page. They know they cannot afford a point deduction in a fight of this magnitude. Let's send it to you guys back upstairs. Kate?
Thank you so much, Jordan. I want to react to both of those things quickly with you. Let's start with Manny Pacquiao because we've been talking about the fact that he's bringing these things back, right? He's gone old school. He's got the bamboo stick for the training. He's got the Morales shorts, all kind of a nod to the past. Does it make you all think, is it all signs that maybe this is the last time that he's thinking in that way as well, Keith?
I mean, it's already been talked about in that way. He's 42. The clock only ticks forward, 43, 44. You know, he wants to bring that fire back. He wants to do it for the fans. He wants to leave with the greatest performance. He said backstage that you're going to see the best Manny Pacquiao. And if you're going to leave, that's the way to do it.
And going back to what Jordan was talking about as well, because I want to get your thoughts on that. Is it worth Yordenis Ugas and his team spending mental energy on this thing? Is this something that you should just think, all right, this happened, we're moving forward, different fight, different night?
The thing is, you learn from experience, and the experience that they had with the ref that they're dealing with tonight, Mora, they experienced Mora not giving them the fair shake. And so the energy that was spent I feel like it was necessary. Okay. They want Mora to know what they're looking for in this fight, and they want Mora's eyes looking at the same direction that they're looking at, not looking at anything else. So there is subliminal messages, and that's what boxing is all about.
You know, we're watching Yordenis Ugas get his hands wrapped backstage, obviously. I want to ask you a question, Sean, because you've got such an interesting perspective on this. You've done a couple of camps sparring with Manny Pacquiao back when he was prime Manny Pacquiao, 2010, 2011, whenever that was. Yordenis Ugas, you shared a fight with him in 2019. Keith has talked about Manny Pacquiao and the power that he had in his hands, how heavy his fists were. Who's got more power between the two?
You know what? Even though it was sparring, I will say that Manny Pacquiao has more sparring or more power. And I'm not just saying that because he's Manny Pacquiao. I felt the pop from Manny. With Yordenis, I think it's more strength. And I think that if you allow him to touch you and allow him to hang on to you and hit you, then you'll feel the power. But I didn't feel the power as much from Yordenis, but he didn't land the clean shots that Manny, with that speed, is able to land on just about anyone.
That's the thing, right? It's not just the pop with Manny, it's the speed, it's the angles. I mean, you get hit from places you've never seen before. It's coming from everywhere.
And then Manny really does know how to finish a fight, you know. I think Ugas does a good job, but you can just look at the records. Ugas doesn't show us that he is that knockout kind of guy. We've seen him drop people, but we've seen people go the distance. You know, he looks like a big guy. He looks very strong, but I don't think he's the same type of finisher that Manny Pacquiao is.
Ooh, we have got such a great fight night ahead for you. Still got a couple more fights to go. One of those, of course, including the Manny Pacquiao against Yordenis Ugas. We'll be back in just a second. Stay with us. This is the T-Mobile Arena here. The energy in this room, it is big right now, I can tell you that. People are ready for Manny Pacquiao to come out, especially after that last fight that we just saw. Talk to me about Yordenis Ugas, because, you know, I'm listening in to Joe and to Brian talking, and they're talking him up, and I feel like they feel like he has a real shot. If you look at Twitter, though, they think he's got no shot.
I went back in my notes. Silas, his head coach, says that Yordenis Ugas is a master of southpaws. Keith, you know about that southpaw style that Manny Pacquiao has?
Yes, sir.
He could be a master of that.
Now, a master of southpaws, can you master Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao is not your typical southpaw. I mean, even when he was ducking and dodging and moving and grooving, he shoots at just different angles that throughout, you know, my 23 years of boxing, only a very few select people even attempt to box in that kind of fashion. And Manny Pacquiao is a master of being unpredictable.
So if you could give Yordenis Ugas one final piece of advice before he makes this walk, what would your advice to him be?
Do your best, fight your fight, but do not underestimate Manny Pacquiao.
It feels like the common consensus. I know, Sean, you think that Manny Pacquiao will go in there and will be a better fighter than he was in 2019. Do you believe that Manny Pacquiao can come in a better fighter than the fighter that you fought in 2019?
Hey, they say that wine only gets better in age. Manny Pacquiao is the wine of boxing.
At some point, it goes sour, though, Keith.
This is my guy,
That's
man.
at some point, and that might be tomorrow when he announces his retirement. At the end of the day, everything that we've seen has only been greatness.
Why is Yordenis Ugas so underrated? Because it feels like it's not about his fighting quality. He was a big underdog when he went in against you, and we saw what he could do. Is it just that lack of name recognition?
Just lack of name recognition. He's had quiet wins. Even the big wins that he's had were, relatively quiet in the division. And so I think that's why he's been overlooked and in some fashion underestimated. But tonight could be his night. Remember that he's a Cuban fighter. He was great in Cuba. His goal was to come over here and be great here. Took a 2-year layoff, not expecting that to happen. Came back, and he's only coming back to be great. He's determined. Look at him right now. The determination in his heart to become great in America is tonight.
If he has that greatness, he needs to pull it out tonight and show it to us. We've seen a lot of goodness. I want to see Ugas's greatness.
You are so right. This is his moment, and he knows it. We are getting ever closer now to tonight's main event. Before we get there, let's hear from one of tonight's primary sponsors.
Senator by day, face puncher by night. Manny Pacquiao will be anything but diplomatic in his bout against Yordenis Ugas. While they battle, customers in all 50 states can contend for a share of $25,000 in our free-to-play boxing pool. And if DraftKings Sportsbook is available in your area, you can bet $1 to win $100 if either fighter lands a single punch. Download any DraftKings app, enter promo code GLOVES, play free for $25,000, and make it rain.
Well, Taylor, the bet is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You can bet with the only top-rated sportsbook app that matters. Manny Pacquiao is the -160 favorite tonight. That means you need to bet that much to earn a return of $100. Yordenis Ugas is the +275 underdog. That means that a $100 bet will give you $275 back. I'm not going to ask you anything about the betting because I know you've got as much of a clue as I do, which is absolutely none. Let me come to you, because what you don't know at home is that today Keith Thurman made all the rest of us late because he was busy placing his bets. Have you got your betting slips in your pocket?
I do have
Do you want to pull them out?
I don't want to pull them out, but I'll say that I took the bets that pay the most. So those who pretty much, you should have a clue of what I bet on. If you want me to say it, Kate?
Go ahead. Why not?
All right, so I put money down on the draw. Draws pay a lot. We don't see it that often, but it happens. If Ugas is going to step up and Pacquiao's going to step up, this might be a close fight. If it comes a draw, I get money in my pocket. Everybody else loses tonight.
I don't know nothing you said. All I know is you better had a bet with DraftKings. That's what you should have did. I hope you did that.
I know you don't bet. I know you also don't give predictions, but at least give me a taste of how you think this one is going to go. What should we expect?
Early, Manny Pacquiao.
That's simple. Keith?
I don't really know what's going to happen tonight. I'm here looking forward to what does happen, just like everybody else.
That is the beauty of boxing. You just never know. Here we go, everybody. Let's send you over one final time to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring out our fighters for the main event of the evening, at this time we ask you to rise for the singing of the national anthems. First, we present the national anthem of the Philippines, and to lead us from the Black Eyed Peas family, please welcome Epic Records recording artist J. Ray Soul.
Bayang magiliw, peras ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bughaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwang hatid pagsinta, buhay langit sa paninigaya ng pag may mang-aapi ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
And please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we present the national anthem of the United States, and to lead us, singer, songwriter, and producer, please welcome Mean Girl.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready now for the main event. And let's go to the tail of the tape. Manny Pacquiao is 42 years of age, 5'5" and a half, 146. He makes welterweight easily. Yordenis Ugas, more of a full-size welterweight. He's 35 years old. He's been around a while, but full 5'9". He's got a height advantage, reach advantage a little shorter, 67 to 69 inches. Professional years in baseball. That's only what Nolan Ryan and Jim Cott, 27 years as a pro, and this is professional boxing. Manny Pacquiao, a world champion from 112 pounds all the way up to 147. Full house at the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas as we get ready for the main event and the return of the icon, Manny Pacquiao. Sean Porter joining us down here ringside. Brian Kenny, Joe Goosen, and former welterweight champion Sean Porter. We have a moment here as we wait for Yordenis Ugas. Ugas getting ready to go and walk in. There he is on his way. The number 54 for his friend Errol Chapman, closer for the New York Yankees. Ugas, a former amateur world champion, Olympic bronze medalist, and he found himself disillusioned in the pros, started to fall short of expectations. But he came back in 2016, and he's been fulfilling the early promise ever since, winning 11 of 12. That one loss, a split decision loss, razor close to Sean Porter. And this month, he goes from the most avoided fighter in boxing to a man with a golden opportunity, stepping in for Errol Spence and getting a shot at a living legend.
Yordenis Ugas.
We have one of the best welterweights in the world, Yordenis Ugas.
Yo llegué de Cuba, pensé a los 2 años convertirme en un campeón del mundo.
Ugas is a real accomplished fighter.
It's hard to keep track of Ugas because it's boom, 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 boom.
Y los sueños son difíciles. Ese fue el sueño mío y que ser fuerte y resistir, convertido en uno de los mejores pesos welter del mundo.
que con tu voz se dan mis penas. Y este sentimiento ya es tan viejo. Tú me dueles tanto que estés lejos. Hoy yo te invito a caminar por mi solar, para demostrarte de que sirven tus ideales. Somos humanos aunque no pensemos iguales. No tratemos ni dañemos como animales. Esta es mi forma de decirte.
Chance of a lifetime. Yordenis Ugas, he looks happy as he walks in by himself into the middle of the ring here in the T-Mobile Arena. And now it's time for the living legend, Manny Pacquiao. We have really never seen anything like this man before. A legitimate world champion at 112 pounds, a Hall of Fame career before he made that stratospheric rise in weight. A flyweight who would go to beat De La Hoya, Hatton, Cotto, Margarito. Fighters who were or would be world champions from junior welterweight to middleweight. And I mean world champions, not guys with belts. 20 years ago, Pacquiao announced himself on the scene with the stirring destruction of the long-reigning world champion. Pacquiao came in on 10 days' notice for the chance and became one of the biggest fighters in history, a Filipino legend, and we tried to find someone to put it in the proper perspective, and we did just that with the man himself, Larry Merchant.
Manny Pacquiao, he is surely one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. He is one of a kind. I recall thinking, I don't know who this guy is. I never heard of him, but I'm going to see him again. You can't make up Manny's smile. It was bigger than he is. It's a rare thing when he walked toward the ring. People sort of fell in love with him.
Here is the icon of the sport and future Hall of Famer. Please welcome boxing's legendary Manny Pacquiao.
He was a boxer banger, a fighter who had untapped power, speed that just knocked everyone out.
That's a shot. This guy's a freak of nature.
There is an electricity wherever Manny Pacquiao goes. And certainly when he goes to Las Vegas, the electricity is bursting through all of the walls. Manny is in town.
More chances maybe from this sold-out crowd in Las Vegas.
We have very few stars in boxing today. And one of the reasons that Manny Pacquiao is fighting is because he is a star.
I tell you, you just reflexively break into a smile when you see Manny Pacquiao come out and throw that energy and that love right out there as he gets ready to fight on at the age of 42. Brian Kenny ringside here with Joe Goosen, Sean Porter joining us as well. Sean, Give me something that you're looking for early in this fight. What are you expecting? What is important to you?
It's important for Yordenis Ugas to use the jab. Listen, we all know that the southpaw or the jab doesn't land that much. However, you can use the jab to control your fighter, control Manny Pacquiao with the jab. And then on Manny's side, be Manny. Use the fast hands, the fast feet, and that'll lead you to the success you've always had.
Look, you're right on time with that. You know exactly what you're talking about. And let me just tell you, listen, I give credit where credit's due. The bottom line is this, is Pacquiao has a way of upsetting any plans that you might have, and that's what he's planning on doing against Ugas. We'll see how it unfolds, though.
Well, let's soak this in and relish this opportunity one more time at the very least, and go to the ring, and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Welcome you to the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions and MP Promotions, as sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet with the only top-rated sportsbook app that matters. Along with the Air Force Reserve, start your adventure by going to afreserve.com and Cop Shop. Like big hits, Gerard Butler stars in Cop Shop, rated R, only in theaters September 17th. Well, fans, our main event is sanctioned by the WBA, the president, Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. Introducing to you our three judges scoring from ringside, Dave Moretti, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Steve Weisfeld. All right, fans, here we go with a bout you've all been waiting for. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Santiago de Cuba in Cuba. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. His record stands at 26 wins, 4 losses, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2008 Olympic bronze medalist tonight, making the first defense of his world title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the current, reigning and defending WBA welterweight champion of the world, introducing 54 Milagros, Yordenis Ugas. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, really needing no introduction the world over, wearing white trunks trimmed with flames. As the boxing senator, he is fighting out of and proudly representing the Sarangani province in the Philippines. He weighed in at a trim and ready 146 pounds. As a true icon of boxing, his record stands at 62 wins, 7 losses and 2 draws, with 39 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 4-time welterweight world champion and boxing's legendary and only 8-division champion of the world, introducing the one and the only Manny Pacman Pacquiao. And our referee in charge now to give instructions, Russell Mora.
Center ring, gentlemen. Center ring. Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. Trunks here are good. Trunks here are good. Anything below this belt line is a foul. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless you both. Touch right.
42 years old, 2 years removed from his last fight. His wife, Chicky, there. His family here. He's got a huge entourage. And even at his age of 42, we somehow expect him to defy time the way he's done physical size. You wonder, can his fighting spirit and zest for combat carry the day once again?
Well, if his body language is any indication, he's already out in the middle of the ring.
Here we go, round number 1, Manny Pacquiao and Yordenis Ugas. Pacquiao out, probing with the jab, and there's the double jab immediately from Ugas. Shawn Porter, as you pointed out, he's got a beautiful jab, and he usually throws 2 at a time. Pacquiao steps in with body shots.
Yeah, Yordenis has got to continue to use that jab. I appreciate the patience of you, Yordenis, but use that jab and keep Manny guessing. Make Manny reset. That's what the jab is going to do. It's going to force Manny to reset.
You saw how quickly he was able to jump in and get to the body, Joe.
Yeah, it's pretty much what he did with Thurman in the first round. He went out there and unleashed a combination. He's got fast feet still, Manny Pacquiao. And look, Ugas is going to have to deal with Manny's jab too when he does decide to throw it. So, you know, but Ugas definitely have the reach advantage. There's no doubt about it.
That was a nice jab that Ugas just landed too, fellas. Just stepped it right in, and Pacquiao had to respect it.
And that's the thing about Manny. You can get Manny to respect you. You can get some room and some space to operate. And right now, Ugas has the respect because he's created the distance that he needs.
Oh, he jumped right in there and hit him with the right hook. Manny has always been able to close that gap. Remember, he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, knocked him down 3 times with left hands in the first round. Marquez could not find an answer. Ugas already realizing he's in with a very different guy. Hard right hand from Ugas.
Manny landed a good right hook, and Ugas came back with a stiff jab himself.
I mean, look at the fighting spirit from Pacquiao already, and it's a very different fight against Keith Thurman. Thurman was the guy who was pressing. Pacquiao was very mobile. Here it is Pacquiao showing the power early in this round 1.
Yeah, he knows he can't stay on the outside of that long reach of Ugas. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Sean?
Yeah, no, he can't stand on the outside, and I think right now, a little too much posturing right now and posing by Manny. I like to see Manny a little bit more with that in and out, but we got to appreciate the fact that he is 42, and he's got to pace himself a little bit more.
And the fact that Ugas is smart enough to clip you on the way in if you make mistakes. So he's got to be a little bit cautious. I think he threw caution to the wind like 2 or 3 times so far in different sets, Manny has in this round.
I got Ugas' attention as well. I mean, you can see Ugas would like to stand there and throw that long jab out, but he's getting touched by Pacquiao, and he can see the power, and you have to respect the Pacquiao power. Pacquiao says bring that up, so does Russell Mora.
Yep. Well, that's one thing that Ugas does well. If he blocks or turns on you, he'll come back and counter you with 2 body shots, not just 1, 2.
He throws him hard too, Joe. He'll dig in and throw a hard body shot. Against Pacquiao, though, as most fighters have found, it's just a different rhythm. It's a different equation.
You see what I'm saying? Look, the jab. The jab is going to lead to the success for Ugas.
He jumped in and he got pushed down. Obviously not a knockdown as we end round number 1. And we will go to the corner of Manny Pacquiao with Freddie Roach.
All right, there's Pacquiao jabbing. It fell short. All of it fell short except he kept stepping in, and the 3rd punch landed. So it took 3 punches for Pacquiao to get it. Now, Ugas came in with that right body shot. That was a nice belly shot, and landed. That was clean. And Pacquiao tried to throw a right hook off of it. Now, here we go. Here's Pacquiao throwing a decoy jab, left hand, and then, again, the 3rd punch is what landed. And here's where they got inside, and Ugas gave him a good shoulder, and Pacquiao got on top and fell backwards. But I just think the effort alone by Pacquiao won him that round.
I agree, but the thing that I liked about Ugas was he wasn't afraid to use his jab to keep Manny off of him. But the other thing, that push at the end of the round, the respect. You need Manny to respect you. Manny doesn't respect the jab. That's why he's getting hit with the jab.
That was a beautiful counter jab from Ugas too. And in round number 1, 21 of his 27 punches thrown were jabs. And not only that, it's an effortless double jab. He puts the first one out, that second one lands again.
And I gotta also say this, remember, Yordenis Ugas is a Cuban fighter, has the Cuban background 100%. That's an intellectual island, those fighters. Very intellectual fighters. So we see the jab right now. Ugas is working accordingly.
Look at the championship rounds fought. I mean, no one's gonna stack up to Pacquiao. through 27 years of being a professional, a pro at the age of 16 at 98 pounds. And I would say even in round one, good jab by Pacquiao. Pacquiao is still the more menacing fighter, isn't he? When he jumps in with a combination, you know he means business.
Yeah, and Pacquiao landed a good jab himself just a second ago. They're not as often as Ugas is throwing his, but Ugas is not really not working in a hard way. In other words, he's just throwing an occasional jab right now, and he's really holding back on some better power punches that he should be throwing.
Pacquiao was stopped there by a right hand. He's doubling up on the jab and then a left hand coming off the jab as well. Pacquiao is still busy with his hands. Ugas outlanding Pacquiao so far in this fight.
I can also see the patience of Manny. It could be Manny, and he's getting hit with the jab. We can't ignore the fact that Ugas is landing jabs, but I got a feeling Manny's trying to set him up, let him get comfortable so that he'll open up a little more.
I agree with that because Manny's always looking for that to land that big shot. But another thing Ugas is doing, Sean, and you know the conventional way to move against a southpaw is towards their jab side, but Ugas is moving towards the power shot, the power side of Manny Pacquiao, which is unusual. I encourage it with southpaws, but not many guys do that.
Those numbers, by the way, are interesting in that Pacquiao is throwing a lot of jabs but not landing. Ugas is much more accurate. 45 seconds to go here in round number 2. Pacquiao jumps in, tries to trade. Would love to get this as a firefight on the inside. Ugas has real power. Pacquiao has to respect that right hand coming up the middle.
Yeah, and again, there it is. Pacquiao and Ugas both landed good uppercuts to the belly in that last exchange, one each.
Very good round of boxing by Ugas. I like everything from Ugas in this round, the jab, the patience, that shell defense that he likes to use, and also timing Manny pretty well with the offhand.
Another jab by Ugas. He has outlanded Manny Pacquiao through 2 rounds. It's been an interesting fight.
What'd you do?
What I had to do to get to you, Teddy.
Why are you trying to kill him?
I'm the bad guy. Get me out of here. You got a date with me first. I got a lot of money. There's no deal to be made. Deja vu. That's not deja vu, dummy. Cop Shop. Only in theaters September 17th.
In the corner there for Yordenis Ugas, Joe Goosen, what would you be telling Ugas right now?
Well, pick up the pace. I mean, keep using that jab, but follow up with something off of that. He's got to keep his hands busy because if Manny Pacquiao moves his hands more, he's going to win the judges' scoring. That's number 1. Number 2, Russell Mora just warned Ugas the second time in this fight for low blows. So, third time may be a charm.
There's Diana Leon, Yordenis Ugas' fiancée, ringside here as we get into round number 3, and I'm keeping a close eye in favor of Yordenis Ugas as Pacquiao jumps in with a jab immediately.
And the physicality right there of Ugas to push him off. I like that.
That's right, but Russell Mora just warned him for doing that because you can't push off. It's not legal.
Yeah, you're right.
But to be there and gain his respect, not going to get pushed around.
Exactly.
Probably not going to deter Manny Pacquiao much. I mean, getting pushed, especially if he's got the backing of the referee right now. So he's, like I say, Pacquiao is going to win these rounds just by sheer, action, just by keeping his hands busy. Because right now, Ugas is not busy. Don't you agree?
No, he's not busy this round. I gave Ugas the second round, and the reason why I gave Ugas his second round is because of his jab, and he was a little more busy in the second than he is now here in the third. But I'll tell you what, he's giving Manny Pacquiao a puzzle to solve.
Good right there. Good right hand there by Ugas comes in right after Pacquiao had a counter jab back in. But that right hand gets his attention. Pacquiao tries to go to war. Another right hand by Ugas.
I'll tell you what that is. It's a great right Cuban hook. It's like a right. It's not straight, but it's not a hook. It comes around your glove.
Well, that's
and
right.
Manny's not ready for that punch.
Ugas able to block those shots from Pacquiao. At least those. You see the punches landed. Still quite close, and we've got a real fight. We expected it, and we're getting it.
But see that right hand, that little looper right hand that he's throwing, it's only possible because he's edging on the right side, on Manny Pacquiao's left side. He's got a nice little view there, and that's how he's landing it. Plus, it's trying to set up that straight right hand. He wants to give him a little taste around the corner and then come down the middle with it eventually.
And guess what? Manny isn't using his feet. We can speak to him being 42, but he's got to start to use his legs and give Ugas a different look beyond those fast hands that he has.
What's the look you're looking for?
I'm looking for in and out. I'm looking for pivots.
Pacquiao bounced Ugas up to the ropes right after he ate a strong right hand. They'll have to make this a war. If you stand at distance, it'll end up like that. Ugas is able to fight at distance with that beautiful long jab.
Here's what we knew when we fought Ugas. We knew that he wouldn't move his feet very well, and we knew that we would have a good chance of outboxing him. I moved a lot in that fight because I knew that Ugas didn't have the kind of feet that I have. Ugas doesn't have the feet that Manny has, but Manny's not using them right now.
Yeah, Pacquiao is not moving around the ring. You're right, not mobile. He was very mobile 2 years ago.
You know what it looks like?
Big hook right there.
Again.
You know what it looks like to me? Looks to me like he just wants to bowl his way right through Ugas.
Yeah.
And he's not interested in doing angles or anything else. He wants to go get him.
He wanted a piece of Ugas there, no question about it. We're through 3 rounds in Las Vegas.
That was a good round of boxing there.
I'd be interested to see what Larry Hazard has to say after 3.
Okay. Right here is this is what I call a Cuban right hook. It's straighter than a hook, but it's also got a little loop around it, getting around the the backhand of Manny Pacquiao. And then right there again, the jab is what's going to lead Ugas to a success. Manny saying, hey, throwing everything out the window, and I'm coming at you with everything that I got. And this really worked for him right there at the end of that round.
Right, he's a charging bull right now. I don't think he's interested in science as much as he is making it look good and bowling his way into
he's become he's become the fighter in here against the boxer Yordenis Ugas. Ugas normally throws 28 jabs around. There was a lot of talk out there, mostly on the internet, about the left bicep of Yordenis Ugas possibly injured. He's throwing 25 jabs per round in this fight, and that's a beautiful double jab again. So it doesn't appear that left hand is injured.
No.
I thought everything on social media was true. Look at Pacquiao go to work again. Ugas able to get a good defense and block those shots.
But again, it's the visual that Pacquiao's giving the judges right now. There's a good right hand, but look, this is the 3rd warning. He may take a point.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I didn't think that was that bad.
So Manny blocks the shot and makes it go lower than it was aimed towards. But you just you can't get in the way this early.
You're ready. You okay? Okay.
Now you see what Pacquiao's trunks are.
Don't make me take
Joe,
a
he's allowed to touch part of that waistband, right? That's up above his belly button. He can hit some of that waistband. Was that low?
Here it is. Look, that's going to probably land right on the belt line, the right hand. Let's see where it goes. He jabs high to takes the position away. That was right on the belt line. So, what's that, Sean?
Yeah, I was a little low. Listen, Joe, a little low.
No argument here. I'm just saying, it looked to me like it hit the belt line.
Yeah.
Okay? I may not be seeing that correctly, but I think I did see it hit the belt line.
You know what, Joe, to your point, I thought it was fine. Watching it back on replay, I think Russell Moore had a point. It was a little low, and it was a warning, not a point taken away.
Okay, that's the 3rd warning, and right now Pacquiao again is letting his hands go.
I tell you what Ugas is doing that I'm surprised by. He's actually finishing some of these exchanges, and I didn't expect that to come from Ugas.
You know, you've got to get into the combat if you're going to fight Pacquiao. Pacquiao, even at the age of 42, seems to want to mix it up, and that's probably his best chance for victory tonight. Very much in the balance here against a game Yordenis Ugas.
Well, Ugas is holding his ground right now. Now he's looking to block and counter. He's saying, throw it, Manny, because I got something back for you. Okay, there we go
to the body from Ugas that time.
Another belt shot, and Russell Moore didn't say anything there, although Manny just touched his belt like, hey, it's low again.
Right hand over the top, partially blocked. Up the middle, Pacquiao tries the left hand. It's a good counter jab again. You see the power punches, Pacquiao outlanding Ugas. In jabs, however, it is 26-17 in favor of the Cuban fighter.
And Manny can't time the jab. You see every time Manny gets hit with the jab, puts his hands down out of disgust and almost out of frustration because he can't time the jab right now.
Wow, it's a beautiful jab by Pacquiao.
That was 3 jabs by Pacquiao and a little turn and a little left hand.
And there's an answer.
Ugas came back with the right hand.
A little fire too. Ugas said, yeah, you got me there, and he just popped him with his own jab. Ugas has been fighting at a world-class level for a long, long time. He bent down, that knee touched, and just a slip from Ugas. Final seconds, round number 4. It has been spirited and action-packed so far.
Want to play a game? If you say Candyman 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Hell no.
You should say it.
Candyman. Candyman.
Say it. Candyman. Candyman. Say it. Say it. Rated R.
All right, we got a little replay coming up here. Let's see what. Okay, here we go. We got Ugas countering the jab by Pacquiao. Then he throws another jab, backs up Pacquiao, and then shoots that right hand right into the belly. It was a nice setup. Very good move.
That's a great setup. Look at you, 2 to the top, and then 1 right down the middle. That was great boxing combination right there.
Sean, how did you deal with the double jabs? Again, that is a long, effortless double jab that Ugas throws.
I'm telling you, so what I felt was come out here, use your movement, use your speed, and control this fight, control the tempo. That's what I did. Manny does not have control right now, which is why I believe Manny is losing this fight.
You used the ring. Is what you did.
Exactly.
I don't know if Manny's losing this fight. I'm not too sure about that, Sean. Of course, you know, we're both looking at the same fight, but we may have a difference of opinion. I think it's a close fight.
I think so too. Let's get a little indication of that and go to Larry Hazard. Larry, how do you have it scored so far?
Well, guys, you're carrying on an interesting conversation, but I got Pacquiao ahead, 39-27. Look, Pacquiao has what we call judge appeal. He may not have the quick legs anymore, but he's got those fast hands, and nobody's really landing anything of great significance.
Right.
So judges tend to score on volume, and that's what Pacquiao is doing. So I got him ahead, 39-37.
Larry, thank you. By the way, punches landed. It's very close. There's a little more power for Pacquiao, but also his face is barked up a bit. I mean, those jabs are not just, feather dusters just touching him.
He's got swelling below both eyes, but I agree with Larry in the sense that he's got judge appeal. He's like making the action happen for the most part.
And those jabs are landing too. That right hand lands by Ugas, then doubles it up on the jab in the right hand. 3-punch combination all on Pacquiao's face.
But Pacquiao got those back. He touched them back 3 times.
Well, that's part of the difficulty of judging, Joe, too, is that you need to process an awful lot going back and forth. Slows up just a bit, which favors Ugas. Whacks with the right hand. Jordan Plant is in Ugas' corner. Jordan, what do you have?
Watch your heads. Yeah, some interesting info.
Watch your heads.
Ref Mora was just in their corner, said, hey, once low's a warning. Next time I see it twice, I'm going to deduct a point. Back to you, Brian.
All right, Jordan, you were talking about that before, again, in the previous Ugas fight, where he had a point taken away by Mora, and I thought he handled it properly. Mora did it by giving the warning, giving Manny a little bit of time. It was a shade low on his belt. 40 seconds left, round number 5.
In the meantime, Pacquiao slipped in 2 lead left hands and a couple of jabs just like that. And there goes Ugas back. That was blocked though, but it was a good counter shot by Ugas.
Tell you, Manny has got a high level of energy.
He's on fire tonight. He's on fire.
42-year-old man.
He does not want to lose this fight. He does not want to lose. Neither guy does, obviously. But Manny knows how to win fights.
Yeah, Manny knows how to win fights. It's the 5th round, which is why I'm not concerned. However, I do believe that Ugas has more control of this match.
Chinky's concerned
than Manny Pacquiao.
Chinky is looking on. She can barely look. A big exchange there by Pacquiao. He wants to make this a war. Wow. He gives you your money's worth. It's no question.
down now, and probably 20 seconds have passed. Hit that stool in the corner there. He's just sitting down now, and probably 20 seconds have passed. All right, here's some replay, Sean. You know.
Yeah, no,
ahead,
yeah. I'll take
one.
Ugas. Look, we got a jab right here from Ugas.
Right.
This is what's helping him win this fight. Right now, I feel like Ugas is controlling the fight. And then right here, after this exchange, look, boom, the counter immediately. Manny has not picked up the timing and the rhythm of Yordenis Ugas.
Yeah.
And then right here, great exchange from both men. But again, Ugas not afraid to go right back there with Manny Pacquiao. It's a great fight.
And I will say, Manny had some of his very good moments in that round too. We saw two by Ugas right there. There's a lot of give and take right now. A lot of back and forth, but you know, we're halfway through the fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to step out of the judging seat, and I'm just going to continue to call the fight. My score doesn't matter either way, so I'll just tell you what I see. And what I see is that, look at this, the comfort now of Yordenis Ugas, and also giving Manny Pacquiao different looks. Manny was not as prepared for this fight as Ugas is.
Round 6 now here in Las Vegas. Brian Kenny, Joe Goose, and Sean Porter ringside. And Manny Pacquiao has thrown at least 15 more punches in every round. But one key stat, if you look at CompuBox, the jabs landed. Ugas has the edge 33-23. And that jab and that double jab, a big difference. Off the jab, Ugas lands with a right hand. Pacquiao, though, with the energy. And to your point, Joe, that he's got energy. He's landing shots. Larry Hazard loves that as well. There's raw aggression from Pacquiao making the fight.
That right hand lands. It's a hook coming around the glove of Manny Pacquiao, but it lands because of the long reach and arms of Yordenis Ugas.
You know what else? The jab is making the difference here. 82% of this fight is spent at distance, just as they are now. So Ugas gets a long look and gets to put out that long jab.
He does, but he spends a lot of time looking. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's active, but I think he could, you know, to impress me more, I think he should be more active, to tell you the truth.
Hey,
again, Manny's taking his time, but I like Manny's energy. But again, Ugas is coming on this round. I think that's probably his best round.
No question.
I'll tell you what I like about Ugas, Joe. I like the fact that Ugas is giving different looks. You see that right there? That's the shell defense. And then sometimes he pulls straight back. And then sometimes he's willing to stay right there, just like that, and counter. It's giving Manny, it's a puzzle, and Manny has not solved the puzzle.
Pacquiao able to land an uppercut just before, but then took that thudding right hand once again. See, punches landed very close. Right hand again, partially blocked by Pacquiao. He's a man in a real fight. He wanted Errol Spence, #1 welterweight in the world, but eagerly took on the challenge of Yordenis Ugas, who he knows is for real.
And I gotta wonder, with Manny being the pros, now we're in the middle of this fight. Is he gonna flip a switch and do something a little different? I'm wondering if I'm gonna see that. I feel like it needs to happen.
I think if he starts backing up and trying to box, it'll be worse for him, to tell you the truth. I think it'll give Ugas a lot more incentive to do what he's doing. I think that's what he should be doing more of, meeting the challenge of Ugas coming in at him and impressing the judges, trying to get his shots off.
Trying to make him throw his hands. You know, Ugas has got to throw. If he stays in that defensive shell and jabbing just like that, he's going to be able to keep him at distance, land that right hand. He lands a right hand there as well. Pacquiao jumps back in. And we are halfway through this fight. Let's go upstairs. Kate Abdo and Keith Thurman.
Thank you very much, Keith Thurman. Obviously, the last man to fight Manny Pacquiao before this fight back in 2019. Manny's fighting a different fight this time around.
He's fighting a different fight, but he's definitely fighting a different fighter. You know, Ugas is standing right there in the middle of the ring. He's utilizing that jab, but Manny's still being Manny Pacquiao, fighting with those spurts and those flurries. And that's the hard part about fighting Manny Pacquiao, because those flurries, he gets so much credit from the judges. And of course, Ugas is doing good with the jab, but the jab's not gonna win you fights. If Ugas truly wants to win this fight, he needs to keep letting that straight right hand go. He needs to keep not being worried and trying to touch the body a little bit. Obviously, keep up. He's about to get deducted a point if he keeps doing low blows, but he needs to let the right hand go. He needs to throw power punches, because that's one thing that Manny Pacquiao doesn't hesitate on.
Let's get you back ringside for the next round.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, I don't know, that jab, you know, landing, that can win rounds. It's been close here, and we don't know how the judges will have it. They have top flight judges for this fight. Dave Moretti, Steve Weisfeld, considered the best in the business. Patricia Morse-Jarman. And you see the jabs landed. Ugas with the big edge, 37-26. Good jab there by Pacquiao. But he's got to make this a firefight in order to gain some momentum and drive Ugas back. The more it's a set piece, Joe, I think it more favors Ugas.
Yeah, look, I liked what Keith said. I'm more in concordance with that. Basically, that Pacquiao is a, he throws those flurries. He makes it looks good. I think I said it to Sean earlier that Ugas has got to start throwing that right hand or more power punches. And so, there's a lot to be said on both opinions here. But regardless, it's a very competitive fight.
Right hand landed.
I don't think anyone's running away with it.
No question. Yeah, flurry there by Pacquiao. Most of those shots blocked. Ugas was able to land that right hand as he throws he plants and throws a vicious combination toward Pacquiao. He's not just boxing, moving, and keeping him at bay. He's standing in and trading with Pacquiao.
Well, yeah, look, he's got great skills. Sean said it. The Cubans are taught very well. He's got good head movement. He's got good radar. He knows what's coming, and then he slips and he comes back with stuff. So, it's a type of fight that he's capable of fighting and doing well with.
Pacquiao with some scoring shots there. Look, it comes down to scoring blows. How often are you landing your shot, and then what damage are you incurring on the other fighter? Those shots are landing from Ugas.
Look at that right there. Ugas is picking moments to let go of his hands, and he has success when he does it.
That was a three-punch combination. Landed two of them flush. Round number 7, scheduled for 12. Ugas able to move Pacquiao back just a bit. Pacquiao fires back, tries to get close. Look at that. Double jab up in a right hand from Ugas.
That's what I expect of Ugas. If he wants to win this fight, I want him to. I would like to see him do that. Throw those hard, long shots off the jab. Don't waste a good jab. A jab is a setup punch for your next punch.
Yeah, don't waste a good jab. I like that.
Yeah.
But again, if Pacquiao is not closing the gap, then he allows Ugas to pick his spots, control distance, and make it a fight when he wants to make it a fight. So far, he's been able to do that. Punches landed, still very close. Slight favoring Ugas. Right hand lands from Ugas. Another right hand. Pacquiao now time to fire back. You wonder how much energy does this man have at the age of 42? Can he pick up the pace? Can he slip it into another gear at his age? Ugas says, I'm right here. I'm right here. A lot of jabs in this fight, mostly from Ugas here, Joe.
Hey, listen, I'm a fan of the jab. I say I'm nothing without my jab. Look at the long jab of Yordenis Ugas. I know Keith said you can't win the fight with just the jab. However, Joe, I feel like the jab is setting it up for Yordenis.
Well, I don't think any of us disagree about the jab, but I think you do agree. You utilize the jab to do what should come next.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was coming right there.
Right.
You're right. The double jab sets up the right hand. Don't waste the good jab. I love that, Joe.
Damian Lillard here. Ugas fighting, okay, and trying to convince viewers that he's not winning this fight. He's a fan of both. What is he convincing viewers of?
He calling you. He's calling out Joe, and he's calling out BK. He ain't calling out Sean.
Oh, and they's trying to convince viewers.
Yeah, they.
Wait, they're trying to convince viewers that Ugas is not winning this fight?
They is you.
I'm saying
BK?
Ugas is winning this fight.
Oh, okay, cool. Then he's calling out you, Joe.
There you go.
How do you know that?
Oh, I don't know that. On my view.
Oh, because Dame is my guy. And I know he would be talking about me.
Well, here, hold on. Let me have my cousin call.
Hey, listen.
Right,
he's a gold medalist here at the Olympic Games. So.
Listen. Well, that's all well and good. But right now,
I'm just saying, he knows what he's talking about.
Round number 8. Manny Pacquiao at the age of 42. 2 years removed from the ring, but came back, shocked the world. Was able to outpoint. Split decision over Keith Thurman, who's here with us tonight. And a very different fight so far in this one. And again, Pacquiao had a knockdown in round 1 that gave him momentum in that fight against Keith Thurman. Right hand lands from Ugas.
I tell you what, I'll say this, and the fight against was gonna be Errol Spence Jr. I say, you know what? If this fight gets to the back half, 8 through 12, I worry for Manny Pacquiao, and I started to feel the same way about this fight with Yordenis Ugas. So I feel like it's getting later in this, and it could swing Ugas' way.
Let's go to Larry Hazard. Larry, how do you have it through 7?
I got Pacquiao ahead by 1 point, 67-66. But Ugas is coming back. So far in this round, I got Ugas ahead right now. We'll see how this round ends up. But right now, I got Pacquiao ahead by 1 point, 67-66.
Yeah, no,
thank you. Yeah, no, look, I think he's been close throughout.
But now
coming back again, I think he's been in it the whole time.
Was Larry included in on the day?
Oh, absolutely.
They tried.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So then whoever felt like Manny Pacquiao was controlling this fight and
not controlling. Nobody said that word.
Oh,
What we said was.
I know that right hand is trouble.
Yeah,
I know
was
that.
At the beginning of the fight, Pacquiao was throwing the combinations. And Ugas was much more passive than he is now. Second half of the fight, he's turning it on. He's throwing the hard shots behind the jab. Nobody's going to deny that. He's fighting more.
That right hand landed to the body as well.
Win.
Coming back again, throwing that jab up and landing that right hand. Again, it comes down to scoring shots, and these are competitive rounds. There's no question about that. I think Ugas is cut a bit as well.
That's why they had Mike Rodriguez in the corner in between that bumped Salas out, and Rodriguez stopped the bleeding on that cut.
There you go, a little cut right over the right eye. It's not much, and then they start to exchange. 30 seconds to go here in round number 8.
Well,
long way to go.
Here's the adjustment for Manny Pacquiao. Finish your combination and do that right there. Get off. Get to the right of that. Get to the right side of. Get to the left side of Ugas, away from that right hand.
Yeah, even if he moves away, though.
Exactly. Too much moving straight backwards for Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao tries to come back and answer that hook. They're going to have a grazing hook off the side of his head. Ugas has been able to have all the answers here against Manny Pacquiao. Good hard right hand by Ugas. Punctuating round 8.
Ugas found a home for that right hand now, and that's all there is to it.
And Jinky can barely watch, looks up, concerned for her husband. There's that right hand.
Look, because when the right hand comes, it's normally coming straight. No, I don't think Manny's ever seen a fighter who throws a right hand like that. The Cubans are known for throwing that right hand, and Manny, I don't think has ever seen that right hand come.
Well, you saw it because Manny went to parry what he thought was a straight right hand, and it came around. But he's been deking him. Look, I mean, Ugas is tricky that way. They'll throw him down the middle, get you thinking there, getting you to parry, move your hand there, then come around.
Yeah.
Ugas has been able to land 60% of his power shots. That is increasing now. And again, Russell Moore, he's warning Ugas again. Think of the guys Ugas has beaten, by the way, since that 2-year layoff. I mean, quality wins: Jamal James, Ray Robinson, Thomas Delorme, Omar Figueroa, Mike Dallas Jr., Abel Ramos. Inexplicably a split decision.
And I apologize. That was Stitch Duran working on the cut in Ugas' corner.
I think they almost had a clash there for a moment, so they both stopped and then touched gloves to re-engage. You see, power punches landed in favor of Manny Pacquiao, 65-59. It is close. The jabs connected, still in favor of Ugas, 45-32. That's not how you score the fight, but it gives you an indication of who's landing what. Round number 9, again scheduled for the championship 12, and Manny Pacquiao once again being put to the test. That's what you have. That's what happens when you fight the top fighters, and Ugas is one of the top fighters in the world.
Don't push him down. Okay. You okay? Let's go.
And you wonder how much is left in the tank of Manny Pacquiao. Face is marked up a bit. The energy level a bit on the wane.
Yeah, the last 3 rounds, Ugas really has turned up the heat. And this is why I believe he's won those rounds, because I'm going to give credit where I think credit is due. He's doing a lot of the fighting now. He's being busy, and he's frustrating Pacquiao. Pacquiao's having a hard time landing a clean shot. Right. I'll tell you the truth, even if he's busy at times, he cannot land a clean shot where I think Ugas is now.
Well, Manny finally keeping that left hand at home right there to block that right hand. And also, I feel like Manny's energy's up a little bit this round, and he's changing the rhythm a little bit this round.
Well, I guarantee he's been warned in the corner. Look, you're falling behind. Yeah. You're going to lose this fight if you don't win these next few rounds. We're in the 9th round right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, it's a 42-year-old man. He's seen Pacquiao just been able. He can go through a wall through his whole career. But can he do it again and again? It is difficult, and if he didn't build a points lead early, it's going to be tough to come back later here. Again, that said, punches landed still very close. We don't know how the judges will have it.
Well, I felt like that was what he did against Keith Thurman. I felt like he controlled the first half of the fight, maybe a little more than that, then Keith came on late at the end. In this case, Manny's got to keep his foot on the gas pedal or he will continue to fall behind.
Ugas with the combination. And not only that, it keeps Pacquiao back. Pacquiao tries throwing his hands. A lot of those shots are blocked. Ugas comes back. Again, Ugas able to keep it in re-engage mode where they're able to fight from distance and box the way he wants to box.
Look at that. I mean, that's a beautiful counter off of Manny's right hand. Ugas comes back with that right to left uppercut to the belly. That's
good right hook right there to the body by Manny Pacquiao.
But that's patented counter-punching by Ugas. You know, he's capable of that, and there he is, switching up the right hand. Look, there's no doubt he's having a much better second half of this fight.
Yeah.
Ugas has been able to fight from the pocket, step back, and have Pacquiao stand right in front of him. And he could be winning all these rounds.
Okay. Nos vamos para el 10, ¿verdad? Dame agua.
Okay, now we're in the 10th
la
round.
toalla.
Put the towel behind his neck.
Tranquilo, que
Nice
ya lo
and
tenemos.
calm. Nice, we have him. Nice and calm.
Yordenis, la amenaza. Hace falta que te imponga.
What you need to do is impose yourself here in this fight now.
Acuérdate.
Remember,
todo lo que tú quieras.
remember you can do whatever you want in this fight.
Todo lo que tú quieras,
Take
pero tienes que tirar
advantage of
cabrones
everything
golpes.
here. This is yours.
Y cuando le ganen, rompe.
Diorana Leon, Ugas' fiance, smiling here. His corner is feeling it as well. Pacquiao still throwing 60 punches around, but hasn't landed more than 11 since round 5. As we get now to round number 10, Manny Pacquiao, Yordenis Ugas, and Ugas, we don't know if he's assumed control, but he could be doing enough to win a lot of these rounds.
Well, I don't think there's any question the last 3-4 rounds, you know, it's swung to Ugas' favor. But, you know, Salas is not going to rely on that. He told him that you've got to assert yourself. And in other words, don't leave any doubt as to who's winning these rounds because we are in the 10th round right now.
Well, again, and Pacquiao famously has a fantastic engine. But again, he's older now. He's 42.
I'll tell you what, I like the coaching right there from Silas.
Exchange now. Maybe this is Pacquiao's chance. Make it a fight. Ugas very strong though on the inside.
I like the coaching. Like Silas says, you got to impose yourself. Don't leave it. Take everything that's there. And he also told you, Dennis, you can do anything you want. I love that coaching. Well, I agree with it all.
Good hard right hand by Ugas. Right off the jab too. Put it up as a blinder and comes down with the hammer. Pacquiao begins to slow now. Still obviously dangerous in exchanges. Tries with the jab. Some of those shots blocked. Doubling up on the jab. Ugas again follows with the right hand.
And Manny keeping that left hand at home. Quite a few rounds went by with Manny getting caught with a clean right hand by Yordenis Ugas, but now he's keeping that left hand at home.
Ugas landed a right hand to the body. Now Pacquiao able to land, come in with the right hand. But coming up way short with that left hand, the signature,
that's the
power
problem.
shot.
He's coming up short this round with, 3 out of the 4 punches he's throwing.
And usually that left hand, Joe, that's the one that caught Keith Thurman, knocked him down. Again, the one that drilled Marquez again and again. That's the power shot. Wow. Ugas landing now, sending the sweat flying from Pacquiao's head.
Long arms, tall, and a very clever fighter. That's what he's got in front of him right now.
Exactly. I saw 3 looks from Yordenis Ugas in this fight. Moments where he did that right there, he took control. Moments where he let Manny throw and he just blocked. And then also moments where he would step back like that. And then there's one more where he'll stay and exchange. Manny hasn't been able to find the range in the distance because of that. Those different looks, those different ways of defending Manny Pacquiao's punches has kept Manny guessing virtually this entire fight.
And and the pace slows. Ugas able to take the air out of the ball on Pacquiao. Good hard right hand off the jab again. He's landing clean shots. Pacquiao able to land his jab. He knows he's going to have to force the action.
Yeah.
That's round 10.
All right, here we go. We got a couple of replays. I think this is the part where they both went at it, and Pacquiao landed hard and Ugas landed hard. There was a short right hook by Pacquiao. That was about it. That was a total miss by Pacquiao with both hands going. Here's Ugas, flush right down the middle with a jab. And he's going to hook right around that hand again for about the 15th time this fight. And here's Ugas back with the jab, double jab. Straight right hand, grazed off of Pacquiao, grazed off his arm, grazed by his face. And then here's Ugas again. He's having a good second half of the fight. Manny turned to right out that right hook. The left hook never came. So he's got Manny on edge about that sweep right hand right now. He's reacting to it and reacting to another punch that didn't even come. So Ugas is having his way the last half of the fight.
Ugas has outlanded Pacquiao in 8 of 10 rounds. You could make a case not just at the second half of the fight, first half of the fight as well.
Well, I thought Pacquiao was much busier. Whether or not he was landing solid punches, he just looked like he was more active in the first 5 rounds.
6 minutes left for Manny Pacquiao to try to close the gap. We believe.
Well, yeah.
We don't have the scorecards. We don't know.
But since the 7th round, I think Ugas has just been, piling up the points.
I tell you, the 2 things I like to see from Manny, use a feint. I think the feint's going to open some things up for Manny, and then also use the feet a little more and try to set up his offense. I don't think he's done that this entire fight.
Pacquiao just does not present the same threat to Ugas here. Again, Ugas not only a supreme boxer, but a very strong man in there as well, and a full-size welterweight. Pacquiao is still undersized in this weight class. Obviously has the power when they exchange, but that threat diminishes with each round as the energy is on the way. Body shot lands for Ugas. Pacquiao plunges forward.
Yeah, that was another effort, a brutish effort by Manny Pacquiao to get something done, because he knows he's probably behind right now and he's got to get something done.
Straight up the middle comes Ugas. Well put, Joe. Brutish as well, trying to come in and bum rush him.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a choice. He's not going to outmaneuver on his feet Ugas right now. It's just not going to happen.
And it was never set up. I think that if anything, Ugas is ready for whatever Manny's going to present to him now at this point.
Wow, Pacquiao able to land on that shot.
That was one.
Wow, cupping right hand to the side of the head and the ear.
Pacquiao's got his hand up good there, though. He's hit to that punch, even though it'll probably still get through.
That's right on the belt right there from Ugas. Straight up the middle with the right hand for Ugas. Minute to go here in round 11. Not much time left for Pacquiao, if indeed he is behind on the cards. And you wonder what the future is for Manny Pacquiao. How much is left? We love to see him. Look, we're enjoying this.
Yeah.
He's trailing. I'm enjoying this.
I promise you, BK, I'm over here. I'm thinking this is a great fight.
Yeah,
I'm literally thinking this is a great fight. You got a game replacement fighter in Yordenis Ugas who knew what he was up against, and then you got a guy in Manny Pacquiao trying to cement his legacy right here tonight.
Have you ever seen a bad Manny Pacquiao fight?
Never seen a bad Manny Pacquiao fight, even in the ones that he lost.
Right, not just that. Throw any young guy in front of Ugas right now. Are they going to do any better than Manny Pacquiao?
There you go. There you go.
Well, Ugas makes himself a real player. Again, you've got Errol Spence, who's still the welterweight champ. Terrence Crawford there. Sean Porter sitting with us right here. And again, we knew he was a player, but this kind of puts him on the map of public perception. Digging in here in the final seconds in round 11. 1 round to go.
Nice jab right there from Manny Pacquiao. The jab was underutilized by Manny, but it set up that left hand right there. And then Manny does what he always does, which is keep going.
Yeah, and here's Ugas coming back with that patented right hand. That landed on the back of the neck, to tell you the truth. Manny's been protecting himself, his chin at least, from that sweep right hand.
I like that you referred to it as patented.
As what?
It's patented. You said Ugas has got patented.
Yeah.
I like that.
Taas ang kaliwa lagi. Hulog.
Well, fans, we're approaching the 12th and final round of this bout. Let's cheer him on as they enter the center of the ring. This is round 12.
It's been a long career, Sean.
Yeah. It's
final round.
Hey, let's enjoy it.
Yeah, I am.
I don't like the fact that you announced that right now. Yes, there has been a long career, and it ain't over yet.
No, it ain't. But just that corner work.
They're exhorting him because they know what's happening here. Yordenis Ugas, you see there right there. 3-0 is a late sub. Fought and beat both Jamal James and Thomas Delorme on short notice. He got this fight with 11 days notice, but he was on the card. So he was training, he was getting ready for Fabian Maidana.
Right.
He was training, he was getting ready. Suddenly he had a chance to take on Pacquiao instead. So he was ready to go, and here we go, final 2.5 minutes of this fight.
I tell you what, shame on me for not saying this until right now. I just noticed it now.
What?
And also shame on Manny. I don't think I've ever seen Manny really use head movement, but the head movement to get out of the way of that right hand, and then you'll be able to return shots. Manny never tried to use head movement to get out of the way of that right hand.
Yeah, for most of his career, Sean, that head was moving constantly, so it's just very different now. And his feet were not moving in this fight, and he just got rocked by a right hand. Look, he's not devastated or hurt, but he got knocked sideways on his feet.
Yeah.
2 minutes to go. Pacquiao come up with a miracle.
And he's waiting on the right hand. Manny's not in control. He's got to take control.
No, I think it's fair to say Manny needs a knockout.
I would say so.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, unless there's something that we're missing on the scorecards.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Joe, frequently, we're missing something that's on the scorecards. Really, we've seen it. We've seen we've seen things that Ugas again got a split decision against Abel Ramos. Made no sense whatsoever.
No.
So look, I think weird things can happen. I think we've seen the ebb and flow of this fight, and it seems like Ugas has been in control and took control in this bout. Right hand again by Ugas, partially blocked.
Yeah, Ugas has found a home for that. If nothing else, that has stopped Manny from doing anything in reply. That right hand is throwing him off balance. It's making him really cover up, and it's landing there. He's found a home for it.
And you know what? It's not just age either, because Pacquiao had a lot of energy early in this fight. I don't want to make it seem just like that, but we realize this is a 42-year-old man who is, a junior, featherweight champion. He was a smaller fighter. This isn't Big George Foreman at 45.
But I tell you what, even with 40 seconds left, Manny still wants this win.
Yeah,
he wants this fight. I think if Manny could get a knockout right now, he'll go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Final 30 seconds, hard body shot by Ugas. Pacquiao's last stand, possibly.
Manny landed a good right hook, left hand, landed another left hand right there.
But they know what's at stake. Ugas letting it fly as well. He's been on the world stage a long time. Got the opportunity of a lifetime when Spence had to bow out.
Look at this.
Final 10 seconds, fans standing on their feet. What's left for Pacquiao? Ugas believes he has done enough and is at the end of a legend.
This could be a huge upset. Of course, the Vegas books, they had Pacquiao a huge favorite.
Yeah.
But we knew he was a live dog. We knew he was for real.
No doubt about it.
Ugas is a tall order. You know that when you watch him fight.
And let's give credit to his trainer, Ishmael Salas, who he's been really, on fire with. Probably 12-1.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I would say so.
Who gave him the only loss? Was it?
Strong team.
Who gave him the loss?
Was that me?
Oh, yeah, that was you.
Showtime, Sean Porter.
But that goes to show you.
In case somebody doesn't know
Sean,
who me is.
And now Ugas goes over to the corner to show respect.
Man,
yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
You got the win over that dude.
And look at the respect being shown.
You. Wow.
Let's go to Larry Hazard's scorecard and just see what Larry had, especially again early on. He was with Manny Pacquiao, and that switched as of round 6. Pacquiao took round 9, but that's it in the second half. And yet, he's got it reasonably close, 115 to 113. So if Larry Hazard has it like that, you would think a judge could reasonably have it somewhere near there.
Yeah.
So this is not out of the question, although the three of us sitting here saw Ugas take over. We go back once again, and Ugas able to make his statement late.
That was an open glove. That was nothing of any consequence. It was off balance. And here's Pacquiao trying to do something in the last round here, trying to turn the tide, trying to drop him, hurt him. do something that, could let him win this fight. But I don't know. I think he fell short in this round as well. There's a little block and turn. So, Pacquiao tried to counter off that right hand off of Ugas with a hook, but to no avail.
Look, we've been pointing out all week that Yordenis Ugas is a legitimate top 5 welterweight. And in the top 5, Sean, you're one of them, Keith Thurman, one of them. It's razor close when the top guys fight.
Absolutely, 100%. I said this. I said that Yordenis Ugas has to win a fight in order for me to look at him as a champion. And not only did he maybe win this fight, he did a very outstanding job. Look at the punches landed, punches thrown, 59% there. I mean, look at that. It's the power punches thrown, and it was that right hand that seemed to connect almost every time, 59% of the time that Ugas threw it.
It is interesting that Pacquiao threw over 800 punches, Ugas just over 400.
Yeah.
It's of note.
Well, because Ugas was not busy in the first half of the fight. That's the bottom line.
Let's get the decision. A lot riding on this. Ugas and Pacquiao, we go to the ring. And Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Patricia Morse-Jarman scores the bout 115 to 113. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Dave Moretti both score the bout 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner and still champion Yordenis Ugas.
These are very good judges, and they had it 8-4, 8-4, and 7-5. So it was competitive. It was reasonably close. And I think we believe the right man won this fight.
And I think Larry Hazard had it right in terms of that first half of the fight, where Pacquiao probably won the majority of his rounds, because it was certainly mostly all Ugas in the second half of that fight.
Manny Pacquiao, by the way, landed just 16% of his punches against Ugas. As comparison, he landed 19% against Floyd Mayweather. So Ugas was defensively responsible, and his offense and his jab made all this possible. Just a beautiful performance by Ugas.
But Pacquiao threw many more punches against Ugas than he did against
Over 800.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. And again, that was spirited, and it was entertaining. Did you like that fight? I like that fight.
Unbelievable fight.
And after, Joe, I've watched this a long time. Anytime anybody loses, it's like, all right, is he going to retire? Hold on, he just lost a fight. So I'm not calling for that now. He is 42. You wonder what Manny would like to do. He still commands a lot in the marketplace. And you wonder what the future will bring. Jordan Plant is in the ring now with the winner, Yordenis Ugas. Jordan?
This way. Ugas, congratulations. You haven't had it easy. You came from Cuba. You haven't seen your family at one point when you came here for 9 years. You've had some losses. This wasn't supposed to be you in here tonight. Was it your destiny?
Era destino, tú no tenías que estar aquí en estos momentos, 9 años sin ver la familia, venir aquí a hacer esto, ¿cómo te sientes?
No, estoy emocionado. Ante todo, quiero darle las gracias a Manny Pacquiao por compartir, por pelear conmigo.
I'm very excited, but most of all, I want to thank Manny Pacquiao for giving me this moment in this ring today.
¿Quién es el campeón de WBA? Soy yo el campeón de WBA.
I told you, I am the champion of the WBA, and I showed it tonight.
You did, and it seemed like you were even having fun in there. I saw you shimmying your shoulders, you were smiling. How fun was this moment?
Tú estabas sonriendo en el ring, como que estabas dominando bien, como que la pelea tuya te estaba gozando ahí.
Bueno, siento mucho respeto por Pacquiao, pero yo vine esta noche a demostrar quién es el campeón de WBA. Mucho respeto para él, es una pelea, fue tremendo competidor como siempre. Y nada, estoy agradecido con él.
No, definitely, he's a great competitor, but I came in here to show that I am the champion of the WBA, and a lot of respect for him, but I won the fight.
And also, you were landing that jab from the beginning. You started with the double jab, landed to the body. Was that the key to this fight?
La llave de esta pelea fue el jab, el doble jab que demostraste esta noche.
Sí, tenía una buena mano adelante. La trabajé bien. Traté de hacerle caso a mi esquina. Tuvimos solo 2 semanas para entrenar, pero hice el trabajo, gracias a Dios.
No, definitely. That was the lead punch, that double jab. We only had 2 weeks, of training, but I listened to my corner, and it all worked out.
Yes, and you know, Pacquiao was adamant that you didn't earn this belt because you were elevated to champion in January, but I think you've earned it now. So what do you want to do next? Who's next?
Bueno, te elevaron como campeón en el mes de enero y decían el lado de Pacquiao que tú no eres el campeón real. Ahora, ¿qué quiere hacer Yordenis Ugas próximamente?
Bueno, yo pienso que voy en el camino que estaba, a unificarme. Ya le gané a que todo el mundo decía que era un campeón. Ahora soy campeón, unificarme.
Now the plan is to unify the title in welterweight. Everybody said that he was the champion. Now they know who the real champion is.
So does that mean Errol Spence?
¿Eso quiere decir que Errol Spence está próximamente?
El siguiente en la lista debe ser, pero estoy pensando porque se recupere.
No, he's the next one on the list that I want to fight, but most of all, I am praying that he recuperates.
Bueno, todos los cubanos estaban viendo esto. Los cubanos salieron masivamente a apoyarme. ¡Patria y vida! ¡Patria y vida!
Life for the Cuban people that came out in massive amounts to come and see me. So for the country and for life.
Patria y muerte no, patria y vida.
Respects to you, respects to you. Congratulations, Ugas. We're going to send it over to Heidi with Pacquiao.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Manny, you took this fight against Yordenis Ugas just 11 days ago. Certainly a different opponent than you were expecting. Was he more difficult than you expected?
Just make adjustment for a few days. So it's good. I mean, that's boxing.
Most definitely. In terms of the jab, you know, that was a weapon that he used. Were you having a hard time finding your timing against it?
I know I'm making a hard time in the ring, making adjustment about his style, and I think that's the problem to me because I didn't make an adjustment right away, and also my legs tight.
Yeah, we saw that you didn't use your legs as much, not as much footwork from you, and not as much head movement from you as well. Was it a matter of tightness? Was that the issue?
Yeah, my legs is so tight. That's why it's hard to move.
Do you think that's father time? 42 years old, still doing this, man, going the distance here against yes, look at this. This crowd is so pumped to be here. They came to see you. What do you want to say to them?
Well, I'm so thankful to the fans so coming here to watch to witness the fight live. I'm really appreciative of your effort to come here. Even despite of this pandemic, you have time to watch live the fight. And I'm sorry that we lost tonight, but you know, I did my best, and I apologize.
Now you know the question that's coming next. Will we see you in the ring again? I know a lot of respect between you. Will we see you fight again?
I don't know. Let's let me rest first and relax and make a decision if I'm continue to fight or not.
Like a true politician, will you be running for president in the Philippines in May of 2022?
Well, I will make a final announcement next month, and I don't know. You know, I know that I'm facing a big problem in more difficult works than boxing. So, but I want to help the people. I want to help them.
You know, in terms of this crowd, they're all on their feet here standing. Regardless of what you decide to do, there will never be another Manny Pacquiao to stand in this ring. As Brian Kenny said, you are a two-career Hall of Famer.
First of all, to all the fans, I really appreciate of your effort to come here. I hope that in my more than 20 years in boxing, I make you enjoyment and happiness in my career. I mean, you know, that's boxing. I congratulate my opponent, Yordenis Ugas, for making tough tonight and for winning tonight. So that's boxing. Let's face another tomorrow again. and plan our future.
Very good. Thank you very much, Manny Pacquiao. It's always fun to see you box. Brian Kenny, we'll send it back to you.
Heidi, thank you so much. And I'm glad the crowd got a chance to show their appreciation for this man. Even in a loss, there's no love lost at all for this man, this warrior, Manny Pacquiao. You know, every fighter, guys, has to make their own decision. Their health is at stake. Sean, your health is at stake in there. Selfishly, I think we'd all love to see Pacquiao again. What are your thoughts on Pacquiao and his future? Sean, start with you.
Well, he's got to assess things. Being 42, they always say the fighter's the last one to know. And with that being said, I think it's up to his team to really assess what he did tonight, what his struggles were tonight, and if he can continue to fight and be able to fight through the struggles that he had tonight.
Joe?
Well, look, I think it's been a great career. I think it's been a long, great career. I think he's reached every pinnacle he has. I don't know what's left for him to reach at this point. He's going to be 43. You know what? I think the man should enjoy the rest of his life outside of a gym. You know what it's like. It's a grueling struggle. It's a hard grind, and it wears on you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Give the guy a break. Let him go live a normal life. That's what I say.
Well, one thing's for sure. He's not going to live a normal life. He's a senator in the Philippines. He wants to be president. He's not surfing.
Well, I'll tell you what. Boxing is less normal than anything else he can do.
I tell you what, he's going to a different fight, but he's prepared for that fight too.
He is. Look, that was entertaining. It was competitive. He was not embarrassed. Outstanding fight. We hope it's not the end, but we wish him the best, of course. Yordenis Ugas, bigger things ahead. Kate Abdo, back to you.
Thank you very much, gents. What a moment that was. I mean, it is an absolutely enormous night for Yordenis Ugas. It feels like a big night as well in the career of Manny Pacquiao. He takes a loss. He is so gracious, so nice, so respectful. He's such a wonderful servant to this sport and also such a wonderful leader in this sport in terms of the example that he sets. But going back to Yordenis Ugas for just a moment, it felt like he'd won the lottery just getting here, right? Just getting this fight. How life-changing is this moment for him?
I mean, it changes everything. Everybody had a big question mark, who is Ugas? Now they know who Ugas is, and they see why he's been avoided. You know, Cubans have the reputation for being tremendous boxers, and Ugas showed that today. He showed it with his jab, he showed it with his poise, his posture. He never let Manny really get into Manny's rhythm. He constantly stayed at the pace that he wanted to fight at. Even in the corner, his coach told him, you can do anything that you want to do. This is your fight. Ugas, he trains hard, he had tons of confidence, and he just did what he knew that he was telling the world he could do, which is be the winner tonight.
One of the things that he had been really honest about in the build-up to this fight was the emotional stress that he had been through because of the abuse that he'd received online about not being a legitimate champion, having stolen Manny Pacquiao's belt. You know, his alopecia had flared up. You can see he's got no hair on his head whatsoever. He's had to shave everything off. This is a huge moment for him, and it does legitimize him within the division. We've been kind of talking him up as he's top five, and people were kind of wondering, is he really a champion? This tells you everything you need to know, right?
Tells you everything that you need to know. You know, we saw Manny Pacquiao not move his head as much. He said his legs were stiff after the fight. You know, Heidi asked, is it because he's 42? You know, I remember that when I fought him, he was active. He took this fight, he wanted to fight the #1 guy after 2 years of inactivity. And I think that is what was really rough and maybe slowed Pacquiao down. But not to take anything away from Ugas, Ugas fought a very smart fight. He fought the correct fight. He fought his fight. And like I said, styles makes fights. Ugas being such a big welterweight, Manny could not just jump in and land those flurries. Those T-Rex arms that I always talked about, they fell short today.
They did. You know, looking at Yordenis Ugas, he's talked about the fact that he wants that fight now with Errol Spence Jr. Is that the fight that you expect to be made? Because he dangled that WBA belt in front of Errol previously, and Errol had chosen to go on the Manny route, which is understandable, right? But is that the next fight that we all want to see in the welterweight division?
You know, first off, Errol Spence needs to recover, you know, and we all hope that he has a speedy recovery. They say it's a simple surgery that he's going to be going through, so we can expect him to be back in the ring hopefully early next year. Is this the fight that they make right away? Possibly, because if Errol's team is up for it, obviously they have to be up for it. You know, he missed a big opportunity tonight. And so they're going to want a big fight. So does that mean Ugas? Does Ugas defend his title as champion like he did tonight another time before having a unification bout? Because unification bouts are not mandated. They just happen when champions take the time to look at each other and say, it's time to fight each other.
You look at Manny Pacquiao, I know he looked similar after the fight with you, but he took punishment tonight, Keith.
He did, you know, he wasn't ducking and dodging. Even though he was blocking a lot of those overhand rights, you can still get bruised up. There was one fight that I had my hands up the whole time, and at the end of the fight, I left looking like Manny Pacquiao with bruises on the left side, bruises on the right side. With 8-ounce gloves, I mean, it's grueling to be in these 12-round championship fights.
He has left us with an enormous question mark this evening, hasn't he? Because he's not given us any clarity on what he's thinking about doing next. Knowing the man and the fighter that Manny Pacquiao is, do you think that this is the way that he would want to go out of the sport?
You know, of course, the way he would want to go out would have been with a victory tonight. But at the end of the day, if Manny Pacquiao never steps back in the ring, he's done more than enough for a lifetime, for anybody's lifetime. He's lived the dream of dreams, and he will always be remembered. He will be a Hall of Famer. And I mean, I wouldn't ask more of this man, personally.
You're right. Huge respect. Absolutely. Tonight's pay-per-view is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet with the only top-rated sportsbook app that matters. By the Air Force Reserve, start your adventure by going to afreserve.com. And Gerard Butler stars in Cop Shop, rated R, only in theaters September 17th. Someone's got to take the hit. What a night this was in Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. You can see the crowd now beginning to file out. A crowd that came to see Manny Pacquiao win tonight, but won't have been disappointed with the action that they got in the ring. You could tell as Manny Pacquiao was speaking the respect and the love that the people here have for Manny Pacquiao. And it's not just Filipino fans, it's fans of boxing, period, who love this man. We got to witness some history tonight. Manny Pacquiao potentially in the final fight of his career. We won't know. He doesn't know right now, but he will tell us when we do. Listen, there is a huge fight coming up as well on Fox pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view. There's another fantastic one coming up in a couple of months' time. Saturday, October the 9th. It is Fury Wilder 3. It is the trilogy fight that we have all been waiting for. They're going to run it back for the third time. Will it be repeat or will it be revenge? Cannot wait for that one. Listen, it is a long road to boxing immortality. Manny Pacquiao has had a 26-year career, 72 professional fights. He is boxing's only 8-division champion, a once-in-a-generation fighter, a man who has fought the best anytime and at any weight. Tonight, a young prime champion was too much for 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao, and this may be the fight that tells him it is time to say goodbye. Whatever he does do next, we are eternally grateful for the ride.
I'm back in the game.